Okay, so now that we saw that introduction, let's go to the fun part. Let's start doing the coding. So as you can see, I'm already in my folder, and I will just do Vue create movies database. I will select my router, Vuex, CSS preprocessor, and will leave the linter and bubble. I will say yes to the history mode, SAS with Dart, ESLint printer, lint unsafe, dedicated, and no. And let's wait for this to be installed. It is already installed. I go to my database, and before I actually open it, I will install Beautify. So Vue add Beautify, and let's go through the process of installation. This is actually really simple. I will select the default configuration. And that's it. In order to test it, we do a yarn serve. And I want to show you some of the changes that actually happen now with the app. Okay. So for this particular video, I will be using Google Chrome because Firefox having some issues. I don't know why with the localhost authentication. So I will just move to Chrome. As you can see, by default, we have this nice layout. We have this top bar. We see that it has some kind of button on the top. We have the icon, and the information is right here. So this is pretty much a basic Beautify application. Let's actually open it. I have my Visual Studio Code. I'm already in my folder and will select my movies database. And let me close this one. Okay. And let's see what actually changed. And we can see those changes with the git control. So we'll see one of the first thing in our package JSON that we have Beautify, the Beautify loader, and Beautify CLI plugins installed. So those dependencies have been added for us. The Vue configuration was created with transpile dependencies to Beautify. It's just some configuration that actually requires. Our application view changed a lot, and we can see from the top that now we have a V app component, and inside that we have a V app bar with a flex element that have align center. That element have an image, actually two different images. Have a spacers, a button, is a special component for Beautify, and they have the content, and it's calling the hello world component from there. So everything is there. Let's go to the main JavaScript. Beautify have been imported, and Beautify have this basic configuration that just importing Beautify and doing to Vue to use Beautify as a dependency. And our hello world component is a container to a row if a column, and that column have different elements to show. That's it. It's look too much right now. I just want to give you like a really heads up of what actually happening. So let me go back here. Let me remove my outline, I don't need it. And let me go to my source directory. And we know that we have the home, that is not being used, and the about page. It will see a router. We saw the traditional router in there. So let's do some changes. So let me remove the component hello world, and actually I will remove the data from my application.vue. So I will remove this section. I will remove the hello world, and from here I'm going to use a router view and save it. That will allow me just to render my home. Excellent. So we have a button at the top. Let's change this to home. And instead of the reference, let's remove the reference and the target. And let's do two, the same way that we do use with the router link. So the cool thing about the button, they have the router link functionality embedded. So we can use something like this. There you go. And let's copy and paste it again. And let's go to the about page. And let's save it. Perfect. So this is what it does. Something happened with my styling that didn't like it. Oh, this one get confused. There you go. Sorry, my code is changing some text in there. Forget about those. So now we have the home. It's rendering this one, and the about is rendering my about page. So you can see that those are actually working the way that it's supposed to. And my home directory have this information. So let me go to my component home, hello world, and actually my home, and let me remove the Vue logo. Let's just keep the hello world under the about page under, and never to render inside the content, and the navbar is already on the top. Pretty cool. But before we proceed, you know me, I like to do cleanup. So let's actually do that. First thing that we need to do, application view. We are going to, you know what? We're going to be using the app bar. Let's keep it that there. Let's remove. You know what? Let's go to documentation. Here we go to the application, and let's get the traditional application from here. And let me paste it inside my template. Save it. My LinkedIn is all messed up. Sorry for that. So I just return everything that is the way that it was. So let me do the things that I always do, and I do that because of me. Sorry for that. So I will go to my ESLint. I will add some rules that I want to have. The semicolons, never use it. Make quotes, always use single. And comma dangle, always add that extra comma when there is a multi-line. Perfect. Save it. I will create a new file called prettier.rc.js with a dot at the beginning. And I will put in there this information. Remove the same, trailing comma always, semi-false, single quote true, and the print width is 240. Perfect. So let me go to my home. There you go. Now it's doing what it's supposed to. Now it's not messing around. Perfect. And now that I have that, I can actually copy my application structure and paste it right here. Oh, sorry. Select it, copy, I'm in the application section, and paste it. And this is what we're going to be using. Let me remove that extra baggage that we have. And I believe that's enough. So we have a navigation drawer. That one is going to be this that we have here on the left. We have the application bar, that is this on the top, very much. Then we have the content, and this content is pretty much everything that is in the middle. And we are rendering the router view. And then we have footer, and in that footer we don't have anything in there, we just have that little gray area on the bottom. We can say something like, I don't know, let's do an H1, all the copyright are here, and we'll see that somewhere. Let's do a flex element. The way that Beautify uses the flex is with the class dflex, and let's put that inside. There you go. Copyrights are there. Yeah, pretty much. So that's my footer. So let's remove the footer. We don't need it. We're going to be using the drawer, then a bar, and the content. So we have this particular. Let's go to the home. Let's remove the hello world component. Let's remove this class, we don't need it. And let's put our traditional hello there. Perfect. So now we can actually go to the router. Let's remove our about page. Let me go to my store. Let me remove my modules, and let me just add the getters. We're going to be using that later. We have that one here. I Beautify, we just save it. Hello world, we don't need it anymore, we can delete it. And the assets, we don't need any of the icons. So let's get rid of those. The about page, we don't need it anymore. Let's delete it. And I believe that's it. There you go. We have an empty repository with Beautify layout already put it somewhere. Well, let's keep it like that. Let me add it and clean up and add Beautify. So I stage everything and let me commit this. Perfect. So what I want to do in my code in order to have some kind of differentiation is my bar, I like it to have at the top. And let's actually have some components. So let's go to the component section and let's do the nav bar.view. And that one actually let's do a vbase name navbar. Let's remove the styling that we don't need. And from there, we can actually let's remove this. Let's paste it in the navbar. And let's keep it like that. So we refresh. Actually, it should not be there. That's weird. Oh, I didn't save my application view. Let me save my application view. And my navbar is not there. So we need to import it because we removed that basic code and put it in a different component. So let's import the navbar from components navbar, and let's add it here, big components, navbar, and now we can actually use it. And in return. Cool. Let's do the same with the navigation drawer. Let's add a new one. And let's call it this drawer.view, base, name, drawer. Let's put the code there. Let's remove the styling. So the drawer is not showing. That means that we can actually go in here, we can copy and paste. We can put drawer. We import it, we register it, and we can use it. Perfect. And my drawer is there. So now that we have the elements, I believe that's everything that I need in my application view. And now we can move on. So let's call it refactor some components. Then I need to stage it and commit it. Perfect. So now in the navbar, we can actually do some elements in there. But before actually, let's do to the store and let's start adding some elements that I need in the store. So one of the cool things about this drawer is, and we can see that in the verify, we can actually believe we can go to the bars, application bar, go to the bottom. Actually, not that on the bottom. It's the one toggle navigation drawer. We said we can actually add some kind of button that will trigger our drawer. This is what I need. So I copy part of this code over here. They have the application navbar icon, and we click and we set the drawer equal to true. So let's actually save this to our Vuex store, and let's start making those changes in there. So for that, let me go to the store, and I will copy some elements that I have. So my drawer by default is going to be false. I need to have a getter to get a drawer. I need a mutation to change the drawer. And I need an action. And actually we'll have two different actions. One called hide drawer, that is going to commit the change drawer to false, and show drawer that is going to commit the change drawer to true. And that's it. We can keep it like that. So we can go to our navbar, and I will copy paste some of my code. Let me check something. But let me delete this one from here, and let me remove this for now. So we have our information there. What we're doing is we have an application bar that is going to be clipped to the left. I will show you why. Dark, that will make that the text going to be white, and can put the color purple. We go to the verify and look for colors. They have a bunch of colors to choose, and they have the name, and then they have the extra class for line 10 or darken or accent, pretty much. And I have an icon that I will show you in a minute. When you click it, and the drawer is true, it's going to hide it, and when the drawer is false, it's going to show it. It's a simple if statement in one line. And then I put my title, it's going to be Movies Database, where Movies is in the light font and Database in the more regular font, so you have that changes in there, and that's it. I'm using my getters and my actions. So this actually came from Vue.js, and they're really cool because you can actually get elements from without specifying this dot store dot getter dot the name. You can actually specify, okay, my get drawer is going to be called drawer, something like this. So I can just specify that from there, and whenever I click it, I will change it that. And my action, just pretty much getting that action directly instead of doing this dot store dot action or dot dispatch or dot commit, depending what you need it to have. So it is doing what I'm supposed to. Let me do changes in my drawer too. And let me copy part of my code because we're going to be modifying this. And in my navigation, I will have this to go over here. Let's put, it's going to be clipped. And let's get pretty much the same. Let's get, in this case, let's get just the getters, and I will get my drawer pretty much. So I will do my be computed, and I will remove this, and I will get everything that I have in my map getters. That is actually an object, and I will call the get drawer element and call it drawer. Now you will see that the drawer is showing and removing whenever I click. So this icon was created with this. As you can see, I'm not showing any content. Just to call this component is this element right here, as you can see it. Then the toolbar have a title, so I can specify the two different span elements. So we have the movie database looking this way. And this one, the only way that I'm doing it is drawer that came from a Vuex is true, hide it. If it's false, show it. That's it. And the drawer is listening to the same element, so we're getting from the same Vuex store, and we say your value is going to be whatever is there. That's why we are able to do something like this. Pretty neat, right? Now that we have that part, let's actually we need a bunch of information, but we need that when we are ready logging into the app. So let's actually work with the authentication. So let's add everything, and let's commit it as drawer logic. Let me close everything in order not to make too much noise. And the next element that I want to do my login page. So let me go to my views, new file, login.view, and in my login.view, let's actually call the name login, and h1 login, and let's call that in the router. So let me import this first, login. Let me copy this. It's called login, and this one is lowercase. And we can actually go /login and my login page. Perfect. So I have that there. So what I want to do with my login, I will need to open my terminal, and in my terminal I will add my yarn add Firebase and Firebase UI, and I will pretty much move with the process that we created in our login page. So I will copy over my login, and you will see this really familiar. I'm creating my element Firebase UI, and I have it mounted. I will do the config, and I will do something about it. Because of that, I will need to go to my, actually in my plugins, let's create Firebase.js. And I will paste all this, and it's the same things that we did in the login page: importing Vue, importing Firebase, Firebase authentication, Firebase UI, or my keys with the process env. We're going to do that too. Initialize the app, initialize the UI, and then call all Firebase and Firebase UI, pretty much. So we are saving those. Let me close this, because I will create a new .env.local, and let me check something. Perfect, hide secrets, because I don't want to reveal it in my screen. I will not commit that error again. And what I want to do is pretty much copy all my Firebase secrets. You cannot see those, you get hidden, but those are already there, and you just need to put the content that Firebase gave you in that configuration. So having those in place, I can actually do yarn serve again. I believe the only thing that is missing is in my public index. I need to be adding my Firebase UI after here. Save it. Perfect. Close it. And we have a bunch of errors in my main JavaScript. There you go. Perfect. I fixed those. Okay. It will not get showed because I need to go to my application.vue, to my main JavaScript, and what I need to do here is import from, actually not from, just import my plugins, Firebase, I believe. And now we have those icons there. Of course, I already went to my console and I already add my website to be allowed. So let me try to log in. Get me in and send me to root. Perfect. The only thing missing, because we don't have it, is in the store. We need to save the user. I'm copying pasting code, and it's the same code that we already did in the login page. So it should be that easy. So in the state, we need to create the user. On the getter, we need to get the user. On the mutation, we need to setting that user, we need to change it somehow. And on the action, oh, sorry, we need to commit that mutation. So doing that, I'm going back to login. If I click it, disable to Firebase because I already have my account signing in. Everything is there. If I inspect and go to my Firebase, to my Vue dev tool, open my state, do load it. I don't know if you want to be able to see it because I'm right here. So let me just get the state and let's wait for a minute to actually that to render. And it's taking longer than it's supposed to. Yeah, I didn't like it. Let me refresh it. Let me get my state. Okay, my user is empty. Perfect. Let me go to login. Let me get my state again. My user is empty. If I log in with my Google account, wow. Wow, this is really weird. Blocked frame. There's some security issue with my browser. That means that I tried to log in too many times, too fast. So let me go to the other route. Let me open my STC account. I do sign in because I already have it, but as you know, and I see my state. Oh, perfect. My user is right there. Cool. Everything is working and it's supposed to. So the only things that need to be added here, and the only things that I did with the login is exactly the same login that we already have. What I'm missing, and I will put that there, is in my assets. I actually need to put my, how can I say, my profile image. So let me actually copy that. Let me copy from my notes. Give me a minute. I copy that over. Let me see, it's over there. There you go. So that is there. And what I can do now that I'm logging in, I can render some information in my drawer. So let me do that. And in order to do that, it will be very simple. Go into my code. Let me go to my drawer. And inside my drawer, the first element that I want to have at the top is this one. What I'm doing is a flex element. You just display flex in a column proportion and justify center, align center. It's everything that we already know. Margin bottom 4, so we added some margin. And I have an avatar size 128 that will use the user photo URL taken from Firebase or the default picture that we just copy over. It's pretty much the same thing that we did with the private page in the login project. And then I'm displaying my name and my email and have some button for logout. So save that, nothing will show because I will actually need to start bringing that information in. So first thing, I need to bring the default picture, and I need to declare that default picture as a data element. Perfect, it's not there yet. I will map my actions to, because now I'm doing the logout and stuff like that. And from my actions, actually no, I don't need the actions yet. I just need to have, after computed, I will have my B methods, and I will add my logout. Pretty much what I'm saying is sign out, dispatch the set user, hide artwork, clear movies, and this is probably not yet. There you go. And push into the login. What else do I need here? I need to get my user. So in my getters, I will bring the user from get user getters that we have in the store. If I save that, let me refresh it. Then that is there. Why is it taking longer? Let me actually log in. Let me try to sign in with my Google account. Let's see if this allows me now. Wow, it looks like I have some issues with my browser. Let me close it. And let me try here in Firefox. Perfect, I have that there. So let me do logout. Logout send me to my login page. And if I click there, let me try to log in. There you go. Get my avatar, get my name, and that one. And have my logout button. Perfect. It's doing what it's supposed to. Let me close this one a little bit more and remove it from here. So let me just get it out of the way. Perfect. So this information is the same information that I was bringing in the car in the login page. I'm not doing anything different. The only difference is the components that I've been using, but the content is pretty much the same. So there's one last thing that I need to have here, and it's in my router, I believe. And I want to protect everything. So before actually exporting the router, I will do a really simple function that before each route that we're going to be moving, if I'm going to log in or I have a user, I can proceed. If not, I need to send everybody to the login page. So this is another way to protect my home directory. So let me actually do a logout. Let me save this. I have an issue here. Let me see. Oh, I need to import my store because I'm looking for that user. So let me just go to the top, import my store from my store, and I should be fine. Yes, I am. So if I try to go directly, it sends me back to my login page. If I can see that is being shown. So that's another thing that I want to change. I don't want to show this if there is no user logging in. The way to do it is I go back to my navbar and we call this over here. We can do my nav icon. We will show only if we have a user. Let me check my notes. Yes, and that means the only thing that we need to add it is to be able to read my user. So now it's not there. If I log into my app, select my admin, and it's showing me, and it showed that. I had that really cool animation that I have nothing to do about it. It's something that Beautify does by default. Pretty cool. So if I log out, that gets deleted. If I log in, that it starts to show it. Pretty cool, right? And why is that happening? Let me go to my actually that is in my drawer. So when I click logout, what I'm going to do is I sign out from Firebase. Remember, I'm saying the Firebase from there, and I'm dispatching some action. I'm setting the user to nothing. I hide my drawer and I push to the login page. Pretty much what I'm doing, like following that. And now that I think about this, probably I can change those two to be actually for my map actions. And after logout, what I can do is dot map action. This needs to be at the end. And I need to do an array. And I will call this set user and hide drawer. So I can remove this. And I can now use this dot set user to nothing. I believe that's enough. And this dot, I can call it like direct function hide drawer. Perfect. Let me do a logout. Let me open my spec element. View. Let me try to get my state. Let's see if this actually allows me to do it. No, when I have that issue, it's just refreshing. Used to be faster, so I have my user. Let me log in. So it looks like Firebase UI doesn't like when I have my console open. Yeah, doesn't like it. I can try to get my state, and my user information should be actually there. Let me load the state. Okay. Sorry for repeating that. This is my computer having behavior differently. Okay, let me do something that I have here. Let me try again. There you go. My user is there. So when I click logout, my user gets deleted. I don't know if you can actually see it. My user gets deleted. So this is what I wanted. When I click logout, the user is not showing there anymore. So the login section is working and my page is getting protected. And that's pretty cool. And I believe I can stop the video right now. Next one, we're going to continue now to pull out information for the movie database. So I hope that you like it. Happy coding, everybody.